Hello everyone, Kaoz here, and welcome to another old school RuneScape video. If you've been living under a rock, another exciting temporary game mode is upon us by the name Gridmaster, coming this Wednesday, October 15th. Despite this not looking as hype as a League event, it has the potential to be even more broken and powerful than the previous one, and I still see a bit of confusion around when talking about Gridmaster, which is what today's video is all about, to give you all the tools you need to maximize gains and fun as soon as it drops. Boys and girls, I'll be live streaming most of my Gridmaster journey as soon as it goes live, so click the subscribe button and to turn notifications on to know when I'm streaming, and you can join our Discord with a link in the description to brainstorm with me and our wonderful community. In today's video, I will give you basic information about Gridmaster and how it compares to a League event, what your goal is, and go over every bit of information we know as of the time of writing this video so you can draft your perfect path. We will close out with a few cosmetic rewards you're able to get when completing a certain percentage of the grid, and a few things I plan on doing from start to finish. So with all that in mind, grab your favorite drink and snack, and let's begin. Gridmaster is the first event of its kind because unlike other temporary game modes like Leagues or Deathman or even DMM All-Stars if you count exclusive events, this is the first official game mode that was inspired by something the community has been doing for a long time, and that is bingo. But what does this mean? If you're not part of any gaming community, a large creator Discord, or even a small clan of friends, bingo is an event created by players where the aim is to complete the tiles on a board by getting experience, killing bosses, getting drops, obtaining unique items from Cool Casket, and the list goes on. You are seeing some examples of previous bingo events my Discord and I have organized in the past on screen right now. Every community can put their own twist to it. A smaller weekend bingo with just 25 tiles, a bigger one taking upwards of 2, 3, or even 4 weeks with a board that's like 7 by 7. Hell, there are even variations of bingo I have seen people do events where instead of a grid, you roll a dice and advance on a game board where you have to do what the tile says before you move on. It is completely up to the people organizing it. After people sign up for the event, teams are formed based on availability, skill level, and overall knowledge of the game. When everyone is ready, the board is released and the teams organize to allocate different resources to different tiles. Higher level players may opt to do difficult content like Colosseum or Fosani, and the new players might help with things like skilling bosses. Every bit of help counts. Completing tiles award points depending on their difficulty. The primary focus is to complete the entire board, but more often than not, the tiles are made so this is a much more difficult task, giving players the option to complete rows and columns. This can award extra points to focus on specific tiles, but that's up to the group organizing it. At the end of the event, the team who completes the board or has the highest amount of points win, and everyone becomes burned for the next week or two. Now, why am I saying all of this? Gridmaster was inspired by bingo, and prior to it, everything I said about it was done manually by players and clans to give their community a smooth event. One of the main purposes of Gridmaster is to give players this functionality for the game to automatically track when someone has completed a tile, and everyone has quick access to the board without having to manually check it out. This was one of the proposals from a game jam from a while ago, where JMod brainstormed ideas to bring it into the game, and we didn't really know anything about it for around 2 years. So that's enough about how Gridmaster came to be. You are here to know what it is and how to maximize the fun, right? For the uninitiated, and just like Leagues, Gridmaster is a temporary game mode which will run for 4 weeks, starting October 15th and ending on November 12th. In it, everyone is an Ironman account with unlimited energy, and starting with experience multipliers for the games to go lightning fast in the early game. Some of you might be wondering, why an Ironman account? When you log into Gridmaster Worlds, you will be starting on a fresh account which you can only use in these designated worlds. So if you try it out and you see your character at Lumbridge, don't panic. Picture your account as a game, and the different game modes as separate save files. Log back to any regular world and your progress will be there. This time around, your job is to complete the tiles on the grid, and doing so will award you with powerful perks which are going to turn you into an absolute machine. You can think of this game mode as an official private server, where you can do things that would normally take weeks, months, and even years to do in the main game, which is insanely fun. We will talk more about the known tasks and the perks in a bit, but similar to Leagues 3, completing tiles will give you points to spend on unlocks, mainly quests since we don't want to be questing on a temporary game mode. It is unknown how many points you will gain per tile, or how much these unlocks will cost, but I'm sure it will be balanced around being able to unlock harder quests the more tiles you complete, and questing won't be as crucial this time around. If you see the grid on screen right now, you will notice that some of them have green, orange, and red outlines. This is their tier of difficulty, and the harder they are, the more points they will award. And of course, they will also provide insane boost to your gameplay in terms of PVM and scaling. So it will be all about figuring out what you want to focus on first to give your late or end game a much stronger punch. So that's what you get for completing individual tiles. The juicy content comes when we are talking about completing entire rows and columns. At the time of writing this video, there are only 2 visible rewards toward the left and the right of the board. One is the Dog Sword, and the other one is Soul Spear and the Sunlight Bracers. If you didn't play Leagues 5, I can guarantee you that it is in your best interest to try and complete at least a few of these, because their power will be unmatched. New to community events, if you're a free-to-play player, you will be able to have a small taste of what these are all about, as Jagex plans to release a free-to-play world and you will be able to complete a handful of challenges, and to try some of the insane boosts they have prepared for you, which is a great way to entice players to become members for the first time. So if you're free to play, there is no better time to try this than now. So we know most of the important details so far. How long the event will last, everyone playing on an Iron Man account with accelerated experience rate, unlimited run energy, insanely powerful relics, but what about the whole point of the game mode? Rewards, and of course, if you should play or not. You should be playing Gridmaster for the same reason why you play Leagues, DMM, and OSRS in general, and that is of course to have fun. It doesn't matter if you're a mid, late, or endgame account, playing the game on steroids will always be some of the most fun you will have playing old school RuneScape, and it is also great for people looking to try out new content. Imagine you're a late game player scared to get into raids, for example. Well, whether it be solo or in a group, this is a perfect time to try Chambers of Sherrick, the Theater of Blood, and the Tombs of a Mascot. This will be a double-edged sword, because you'll be dealing so much damage and taking so little damage that the chances are you'll be skipping a lot of mechanics, but will still give you a good understanding of what you need to do once you get the itch to get in there when Gridmaster is over. On the other hand, if you started playing old school RuneScape just a few weeks or months ago, I'm not saying that you are not going to enjoy the mode, but everything is going to be so incredibly fast that when the event is over and you want to go back to the main game, things will feel incredibly sluggish, potentially discouraging you from the grind. But don't worry. For those of us who know what we're getting ourselves into, also burned out incredibly hard when the event is over, and you spend like 12 hours a day completing as many tasks as possible. Not only are you going to play for fun, if you're into cosmetics, all temporary game modes have something in store for you to remember your time spent in these worlds. You have cool thematic items for Leagues, menacing looking transbox for items related to DMM, and Gridmaster will not be the exception. Since this is a smaller event, we will only have 3 cosmetics, being a garb, a cape, and a different theme for your POH chapel in the form of the original login screen. You won't need to complete all the tiles to earn these, but the Jagex waits like a week or 2 after the event starts to know how many points these will cost to make it fair, seeing how much time people are spending and how long they are sticking around. I'm sure that even completing half the board or maybe a little extra tiles will be enough, so keep an eye out for their social media to know if you'll be able to snag these when the event is over. The last thing to mention before we talk about tiles and the general strategy is something I see a lot of people mention on my streams or Discord. Why should I spend the time on a game mode which is going to completely disappear in a matter of weeks? And the simple answer is availability. I always tell people on my streams that as long as you don't get banned, hacked, or Jagex doesn't go bankrupt and has to shut down their servers, your main account will always be there. Temporary game modes are only available for a short while, and it is worth at least giving them a try. I have gotten Dragon Cup in every league except the first one, because I was still maxing my account, not realizing that I could play on my main at any time, and I didn't focus on the Twisted League as much as I wanted. However you feel about Gridmaster, I would heavily recommend just spending a few days on it to see if it's something you might actually enjoy. The last thing to mention is that unlike Leagues where you might want to follow a guide to get your first region and relic unlocks, every single player will be able to do everything the game mode has to offer, therefore making efficient guides a little less important in my opinion. You'll be able to play at your own pace, and since there's no restrictions or difficult choices, as long as you complete tiles everyone can do, you'll be good. And finally, the event will start at the times you see on screen depending on your time zone, and the entire grid with tasks and rewards will be revealed 30 minutes before the event starts. You get some time to brainstorm starting routes, and start as soon as the worlds become available to know what your first few hours of Gridmaster will look like. Okay, time for what most of you guys have been waiting for if you're not too involved on social media, and that is all the information we have as of the time of writing this video, Saturday, October 11th. When you're watching this video on Monday, make sure to keep an eye out on the Old School RuneScape Twitter account to see new information posted on Saturday, Sunday, and upcoming reveals on Monday and Tuesday. Just keep in mind that this is not an in-depth strategy guide to brainstorm every possible combination of powers, but I will tell you my personal choices as we go along. Let's start from the beginning. The middle tile will have you completing the Gridmaster tutorial, and this won't take longer than 5 minutes if you want to read everything carefully. Doing so will award you with one of 3 powerful relics that will dramatically increase your gathering skill prowess. Power Miner gives you a pickaxe with better mining success rate, and you can toggle it to automatically give you bars along smithing experience you have when smelting the ore, even if you don't have the smithing level required. And all of the resources will go to your bank, just to mention a few. Lumberjack gives you an axe with similar properties, and you'll be able to toggle effects to give you either fire making or fletching experience depending on what log you chop, which also bypasses your levels in their respective skills. Animal Wrangler was the most popular pick in Leagues 5, and you will get a harpoon which will do things like giving better catch rate, cooking fish, and banking them automatically, and the harpoon also works as every fishing tool needed for different fish. It also provides great benefits for the hunter skill as you see on screen. In my opinion, there's no incorrect choice here, especially because JMods confirmed that you will have all of these eventually. You should definitely pick whatever relic will help with this skill you hate the most if you plan on sticking to the game mode for a long time, or if you want to get a quick 99. Both your Power Miner and Animal Wrangler have great choices, but because of Wintertoad will be available to everyone, fire making experience from Lumberjack won't be as crucial. My personal pick will always be mining because I absolutely hate it, and I feel like this time around metal bars will be a much more valuable resource than items you get from the fishing, hunter, woodcutting, and fletching skills. Hold your horses though, because there's an upcoming relic that will make this pick even more important. Let's get into these a little quicker in order of difficulty. Towards the middle of the board you have Subduing Temporal Swans and Witnessing the Gemstone Crab burrowing to another location. Respectively, this will give you Craftsman and the Gatherer passive effect. I will talk about one of them, and the same rules apply for the other one, but for different skills. For Craftsman, you pick 3 artisan skills between construction, cooking, crafting, firemaking, fletching, herblore, runecrafting, and smithing. When you gain experience in one of your 3 selected skills, you will gain 50% of that experience drop on the other 2. This one had me a little confused at first, but it's as simple as this. Imagine you pick smithing, construction, and fletching. When you gain, let's say, 1000 experience in smithing, you will also gain 500 experience in construction and fletching. And the same goes for experience drops when you train the other 2 skills. The same applies for Gatherer, and this time you'll have to pick 3 skills between mining, fishing, woodcutting, hunter, agility, slayer, and thieving. You pick mining, hunter, and agility for example, and gaining experience in any of the 3 will give a 50% experience to the other 2. I am not going to tell you how to play the game, but I strongly advise that you pair your starting relic with gathering skills that complement each other. My original idea is to pick Power Miner, and I'm thinking about picking mining, fishing, and hunter with Gatherer, and smithing, construction, and herblore for artisan. When I get mining and smithing experience with my pickaxe, I will also be getting passive experience in fishing, hunter, construction, and herblore. These combinations will be crucial to avoid the skills for which you need a lot of materials for. The final tasks on the, what I would guess are the easy tier, are kill an ogress, gain over 30,000 coins from 1 alchemy spell, and defeating a lesser demon in the wizard's tower. Which for the love of God, I really hope Jagex changes before they go live with the event, because otherwise the conga lines are going to be massive. Killing an ogress will give you the combatant perk. Just like the Craftsman and the Gatherer perk, you pick 3 combat skills, and when you gain experience in one of them, you get 50% XP drops in the other 2. This one depends on what style you like the most, but I feel like including prayer in any combination may be beneficial to get passive prayer experience. Alking something for over 30k will give you the Production Prodigy perk. In short, you'll process all items in your inventory at once, like smelting ore, fletching logs, cleaning herbs, cooking food, and much more. You gain experience for every single item processed this way for absolutely massive gains. And finally, defeating the popular Lesser Demon will give you a new perk called the Minimum Potential. When unlocked, your melee ranged and magic hits will never deal anything below 5 damage. And this will pair nicely with the Combatant Relic to potentially give you tons of experience on the skills of your choice. I heavily recommend unlocking this one before getting into combat seriously, but that Lesser Demon crowd is going to make things a little difficult. At the time of making this video, we only have 3 of what appear to be medium difficulty tiles, but oddly enough, only one of them seemed to be actually semi-challenging, especially for people who have not tried it yet. These will be towards the edge of the board with an orange outline. You will be stealing some valuable Sensivitas, cooking a shark, and defeating a Jalzek in the Inferno, also known as the Major. Respectively, they will unlock the Golden God, Corrupted Shark, and the Slayer Master relics, which are absolutely massive. Golden God has all of these busted benefits you see on screen, mainly no rune cost from alchemy spells, 15% more gold, 65% chance for an item not to be consumed, and casting the spell indefinitely until the item is depleted or you move it in your inventory. It also lets you use coins on an altar to act as the Dragon Bones, applying multipliers on different altars like Gilded. The Corrupted Shark relic will give you an item conveniently called Corrupted Shark. This is a non-consumable shark, and when you have it, you will essentially have infinite food in a single spot in your inventory. For tougher challenges, you may still want to pair it up with combo food, but I'm almost certain you are not going to need that. Defeating a Major in the Inferno will award you with the Slayer Master relic. When unlocked, you will always be on task for all Slayer monsters that can be assigned in a task, and gain Slayer experience every time you kill them. And every Slayer task perk will be automatically unlocked. Because of this, it will be absolutely crucial to go for a Slayer helmet early, since you'll be dealing increased damage to every monster that you can do on a task. Golden God may look a little text heavy, but it is pretty simple in practice, and the other 2 are even shorter but extremely powerful. If you haven't tried the Inferno, this will be the perfect time to get to practice at the first portion of the encounter. Getting into the heavy hitters, we got the 3 tasks in the hard difficulty, which will be exclusively for the corners of the board. You'll be obtaining a unique from the Tombs of a Mascot, building a demonic throne, and get this, completing the Inferno in under 30 minutes. This last one sounds kinda wild, so let's check them out. Getting a purple in TOA will not only grant you the unique you just earned, but will also give you a mega weapon scroll, which you can exchange for either a Scythe of Atur, a Twisted Bow, or a Tunic in Shadow. Obviously, this is only redeemable once, and if you want a suggestion, I would pick the Twisted Bow first because uniques from Chambers will be a pain to get. Building a demonic throne will grant you the Thunder Kopesh. This was the weapon unlocked from the Echo King Black Dragon in Leagues 5, and not only does it have great stats, it boasts a powerful passive effect for AoE damage, and a special attack will summon Lightning Bolts for additional DPS. If you're good enough to beat the Inferno in under 30 minutes with all of the crazy perks you'll be getting, the Guardian Relic will be yours. In short, this is a Thrall on steroids, and will adapt to whatever your target is weak to, as well as dealing AoE damage in multi-combat areas. I'm pretty happy about trying this one because it was never part of my plan on previous leagues. As of right now, we only have 2 reveals for completing entire columns. Completing the first one will unlock the Dog Sword, and the 6th one unlocks the Sunlight Spear and the Sunlit Bracers. If you didn't play Leagues 5, these are absolutely broken. The Dog Sword is all 5 God Swords combined into one, which freezes the target, reduces defense, deals additional damage, and heals your HP and prayer immediately, as well as a chunky heal of 25 after a short duration. The Sunlight Spear charges its special attack every time you hit, and using it will let you do Soul's Shield Slam for massive damage in a 3x3 area. Using this weapon is some of the most fun I have had in a long time playing old school RuneScape, and I'm really happy to see it return. The final thing to mention is that if you're curious, there were some people who discovered a few extra tiles by looking at the code and finding a few hidden images, but I'm not here to cover leaks. I'll just patiently wait for more reveals, and wait for the days before the event to theorycraft the best route to get as many tiles done as possible, and have as much fun as I can in the 4 weeks Gridmaster will be available. So boys and girls, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and you're as excited for Gridmaster as I am. If you did, tell me what choices you'll be making and what you think of the event, and if you include the term RSN and your username in your comment, you'll be entered in our weekly bond giveaway for which we will pick a winner on Friday's stream. I want to give a massive thank you to all the people you see on screen right now for becoming channel members. Your contributions go a long way in letting me do this for a living and supporting my family as well as a local animal shelter every month. If you like what I do here, consider clicking the subscribe plus button below to see all the cool perks and benefits you can get in the videos, in the live streams, and in the Discord for a monthly fee. In the next one, we will actually go over a revamped Barbarian Assault video so you can get your torso and level 5s quickly with me and our wonderful community. For now, I hope you have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I will see you then. Peace.